Bonsoir fellow mini enthusiasts! In my Festus the Lich Lord video, a lot of people told me that Age of Sigmar has the best minis, and honestly, when you look at the love poured into the other Nurgle minions, yeah, I get it. Let's start this Gobelin Artsy dive with... The Sloven Knights were once noble cavaliers, who got so stressed avoiding death constantly that when Nurgle whispered, "How about never dying?" they went, "Oh wow, that sounds way easier. I mean, grandpa." Their aura alone saps enemies' motivation, and then they just slowly work forward towards their now immobile enemy and bonk them to death. The concept of a slow, depressed cavalry is so interesting to me. Take a look at those fine steed. This one looks like me before morning coffee. Whoa, that one is even worse. Oh no. Their silhouette look diseased at a glance. The single-horned helmets add lovely asymmetry, and the extra claws breaks up the busy part with calmer area for the eyes. Nice touch. Combine all that with cool armor and trinkets, and those miniatures really fit the story of a renowned cavalier fallen to rotten disgrace. Perfectly executed. Also, look at this horse who kept his little bows. Aww. The sculpting team went hard. Rust engraved into the metal, Nurgle symbols molded directly into armor, cracked hooves, torn claws, rotting horns. It's a full texture and detail buffet. They'll demand time and patience, but honestly, a few good speed paints and dry brushes will already get you fantastic results. I wonder if it's easier to sculpt something rotten because you can add any creepy detail and it still fits. You tell me, Gobelin Gang. Artsy-wise, I think the Sloven Knights are really good. Next up, some chunkier boys. The Putrid Blightkings are Nurgle's most devoted servants, swollen into giant monsters by grandfather's love. Massive weapon, skin thicker than plot armor, and nasty anti-magic aura. Their silhouettes are fantastic. Definitely carried by their bloated bodies and through signature horns on their helmets, which unifies them beautifully. Their leader looks like it's preaching the good word of decay, or screaming a war cry. Both vibes are strong. They really do look like mountains of flesh. Very sturdy, almost ogroid looking, but with a unique rotting vibe. And whoa, that banner is so visually interesting. Perfect for telling the no magic fun allowed part of their lore. Look at that claw sculpting, damn! The level of detail slaps again. Skin folds, Nurgle pocks, rusted metal, torn cloth with tons of holes, trinkets everywhere. Even bone and little coral structures. A painter's playground. Let's move to something a bit more twitchy. The Rotswords are absolute opposite of the Sloven Knights. Instead of slow depression, they're in fever frenzy mode, twitching like monsters from horror games. Their bodies are described as hot to the touch. Why would you touch this? Especially since they are covered in sweat and smell so bad that they can literally confuse their enemies. Don't do that. They dream of bloating up and bursting out of their armor to become Blightkings. And to show reverence, they even copy the horn look, like little fine boys. That's literally Notice Me Senpai, and I love them for it. The storytelling is well represented. They have the horns, of course. One dude is about to get promoted and is bursting out his chest plate. Good job! The leader has this metallic veil that must sound terrifying with all the twitching. Well, I guess not as much as this guy. Whoa, look at his collection! And here we have another gorgeous banner, continuing the army's now clear horns and bell theme. My only critique? I expected slightly wilder pose, considering they're supposed to spaz constantly, but the silhouettes are still strong and unmistakably weird angry Nurgle dudes. These boys are mostly metals, with tons of dents, gashes, and battle damage. The rust texture will pick up washes beautifully. If you skip NMM torture, the Rotswords might actually be the fastest of the bunch to paint, while still looking so cool. Okay, let's finish with some uncivilized beasts. The Beastmen were amongst Nurgle's earliest buddies. Those who followed him became the Pestigors, hunchback backs, gangrenous skin and bloated bellies. They dragged their rotten hooves through the realms, spreading all kind of delightful disease on their horrible pilgrimages. They're wonderfully repulsive, even with rusty, scrappy weapons, they look like actual menaces. The way they frame their biggest swords with rope and straps? Oof. I'm physically recalling. Great job. Their silhouette still matches the rest of the army, with bell, cloth, asymmetry and an overall this-hard to look at vibe. This is the simplest sculpt of the bunch, probably your battle line, so it makes sense. Raise your hand if you all stop out when you lose your coolest mini during a game. But still, they're full of nasty skin texture, rope, rust and worn cloth. Less insane details, but still enough to be fun to paint. I think I finally figured out what this little aqua thing is. Arsus? Tube worms? Oh no, ooh, curse you, biology knowledge! Let's stop thinking about that and conclude. Honestly, I love them all. The entire range has amazing cohesion, strong silhouettes, good poses, tons of texture, abundant details, and designs that perfectly match their lore. No wonder some 40k players are jealous. I'm genuinely tempted to grab them when they drop, but my grey shame is already giving me the side-eye. Oops. One concern, if you already own Maggotkin, the style might clash hard. But what do you think of these new Nurgle minis, Gobelin Gang? Are you going to get them? How would you mix them with the old ones? If you haven't watched the Gobelin Artsy review on Festus the Lich Lord, it's right here. Please show the algorithm chaos god that I'm doing a good job by leaving a like. And add 3 green hearts emojis to your comments so I know you're part of the secret end of the video club. Join the Gobelin Gang for more miniature mischief. And as always, bonne chance with your hobby les amis!